ṣògo Jésù nìkan ló lè bá mi là ó kú fún tèmi tìrẹ lórí òkè náà. Is a true way. Only Jesus, only Jesus. Oh, on Mount Calvary, only Jesus is the answer. Only Him is the true way. Only Jesus is the answer. Jesus died for me on Mount Calvary. Oh, only Jesus is the answer. Only He is the true way. Only Jesus, only. Oh, Jesus died for me on Mount Calvary. Jésù nìkan ló ṣògo Jésù nìkan ló lè bá mi là ó kú fún tèmi tìrẹ lórí òkè náà. Is the only way. Only Jesus. When Jesus came to walk, He came and died for me. He came and died because of my sins. When Jesus came to walk, He came and died for you. Just because of all your sins. Oh. Only Jesus is the answer. Only Jesus is the only true way. Only Jesus. Oh. So when Jesus came to walk, He came and died for me. He came because of my life, just to be saved. When Jesus came to walk, He came just because of you, and to save all your soul from all the valley. Only Jesus is the answer. Only Jesus is the true way.
Hello. Welcome back to another edition of Business Surgery. My name is Benedict Abu. Welcome to this program. Hope you enjoyed last week's program because we had different guests. And today with me, I have got a honorable man. I have got with me Dr. Momodu Conteh, but he's going to introduce himself and tell you who he is. So, welcome to this program, Mr. Momodu Conteh.
Thank you very much. Good evening, listeners out there. I am Dr. Momodu Conteh. Actually, I'm a vicar, Reverend Dr. Momodu Conteh, but I'm also a businessman that has been in the business world with a 20 to 30 years experience in business. So, and I'm also presently the CEO of Nevada Energy Resources, a group of companies registered in Sierra Leone.
Dr. Momodu Conteh, thank you very much. Today today is going to be about you, okay. And we're going to ask you questions because you've been in business, and I noticed that you've formed different companies.
Yes.
Where is Nevada Resources?
Nevada is registered in Sierra Leone. It's a holding company for a group of companies that we have. Okay. One of them is actually registered in the UK here. We just ventured into the UK territory now.
Okay. And with Nevada, what do you do? Tell us a bit. Tell my viewers a little bit about Nevada.
Nevada was created as a mining company We hold a host of mining concessions in the Republic of Sierra Leone, and they are green projects, but they will take off very shortly because we are now at the point where we would start with them. But my main thrust has been in mergers and acquisitions. We take over companies, develop them, and then sell them to potential other investors that will continue with them. So that has been my main thrust. And I have a wide experience in that area also.
Tell me a little bit about your background, educational, academic background first,
Academic
before
background.
I go to business.
Academic background. I went to school in Sierra Leone. I did most of my schooling in Sierra Leone. And around 1989, I came out to Europe. Between here, France, and Norway, I was able to develop myself to the point where I am now a PhD holder in business administration, and also at the same time actively a vicar in church. So that's my background.
How do you manage the two, the business and...
Well, people have asked me this question over the years. I don't manage. I just flow, because to me it's a calling. Each of them is a calling for me, and I do them effectively as per my... In today's world, you have what you call multitasking. If you call multitasking out there, that's my multitasking, if you would put it that way.
Do you do business full time? Because I know Nevada is actually a very huge company.
I do both full time. Yes, yes, and I'm also chairman for a host of other companies also, and at the same time I do consultancy for other multinationals too. So I have a very busy schedule.
Wow, which is really great.
Mm-hmm.
I want us to talk a little bit about challenges.
Okay.
When did you start Nevada?
We started Nevada. Well, actually, I did not start Nevada. The founders of Nevada started Nevada in the late 90s.
Okay.
Early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and I took over Nevada around 97, 98.
Okay.
Yes, and we took off from that point to now.
So that means Nevada have been there even during the war, because it's 97.
Oh yes. Nevada was there during the war. We started with mining first in Conteh, and then the rebels came and we stopped. The company stopped, and we went on to other things. But lately, we are picking up again at a very fast rate. Yes.
It says resources.
Yes.
And when something says resources, it means a lot.
Well,
so
let me take you down this road a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For over the years now, well, call it more than 100 years plus, Africa has been a raw material zone where multinationals come and look for gold, they look for diamonds, they look for whatever resources they want. It's happening till today. And a group of us educated decided to look at it from the other standpoint of view. Because of our Western experience, we said, well, if this is the issue, let's create our own portfolio of companies and look for strategic partnership instead of just looking for the so-called investor that will come and take everything away. So we created these companies. We're not in a rush to go to markets, but we are waiting for the right time, like a sailor putting a sail out there, waiting for the right wind for his boat to take off and sail. So that's what we've been basically doing. But now we're venturing into the West Coast to look at possibilities of partnering with other multinationals that would work with us.
Wow, this is really great. This is really great, because when it comes to things like that, when you're talking about investors that come and take, it led me to a great question which I want to ask. Right. Because when people go, most times people go to Africa. I'll use Sierra Leone as a case study because I was born there. But most times people go there and they say, oh, we want to invest in this area.
Yes.
But mostly they end up investing, but investment, you should get something out.
Yes.
And it should be like a two-way program.
Yes.
But in Africa, it's a one-way program. The investor get, and the local people or the community don't.
Okay. Well, these are some of the things we've studied over the years. Interestingly, you find out that the investor basically comes in for profit. The investor is not he becomes a philanthropist after he's made money.
Yeah.
But when he's going in for business, and that's how I was trained, you go in for what we'll say, you go in for the kill. But in the process, what we have discovered is that because I'm an African, I was born in Africa, and I realized that Africa is not poor. Neither is my country, Sierra Leone, poor. We have resources that should make us come out of the poverty in which we claim to find ourselves today. We looked at an angle wherein we said, well, let's create a scenario where we would be strategic partners now instead of just waiting for an investor to come in. Now, when an investor comes in, his own desire is to take as much as he can get.
Yeah.
But if you who he meets there does not know your game, you don't know what you're up and about, you don't know the strength of what you have, you will short sell. We don't do that anymore. So you find out that some of us might be very difficult to some Western investors because what they want to do with us, they cannot do easily because we know what we're about, you know. So we sit down and talk. And since you're not the only one in the block, there are many opportunities out there. Let's put it this way. Let's look at gold as an example, all right? Gold is one of the world's most wanted minerals. I come from a country that you know very well about. We have 39 of the world's most wanted minerals, and we are classified as poor. Yet underground in our country, we have billions of dollars worth of gold lying there. So what is wrong with that gold being documented, quantified, qualified, and with that document in my hand, I come to a Western company and say, if you've got money, you've got paper money, and I've got gold on the ground, and you can put it, I have gold on the ground, let's talk business. So that's the concept we're operating with.
It's really great because I was in a program where we get it was like an investment summit, but mostly you don't get, even though it's called African investment, you don't get the Africans that want to show up and maybe talk about their own resources, show what they can do or what their expertise. And most times you go down, someone was telling me, it was talking about business canvas, and they were talking about telling a layman in Africa who has no business ideas. Basically, they're just like a petty trader or someone planting. Basically, they were farmers. If you go even if you show someone a business canvas in UK who haven't studied business management, they don't know what they're doing. So if you take business canvas to a layman and talking about business canvas, then you're going to confuse it and they're going to just clap for you and say, wow, this is great, without knowing what to do with that business canvas. With the experience you've got, the expertise you've got, how do you think they can combat these challenges? There are challenges when you run in business. Okay. How do you think they can combat these challenges?
Well, you see, one of the key things before you get into any business, you have to first of all realize that you have to render a service. Yeah. And that service must be accepted, must be wanted. And you have to make that service wanted. You have to create a marketable environment for whatever commodity it is or whatever goods you want to sell. It's key, it's paramount. And you must have some level of education in business. Vis-a-vis, what I'm saying here is you must be able to read a balance sheet. You must be able to look at now. When I spoke about mergers and acquisitions, when I come into a setting and I want to buy your business, the first thing I ask for is your books. I want to know what level of profit you'll be making. I want to be able to read in between the lines wherein you're losing money and where you should be making money. You know, and some of the consultations that I do today to companies, I advise them based on what they tell me, what they show me, their books. And so it is key, it's fundamental for us. And when I talk about education, I'm not just talking about going to school, reading ABC and doing economics. That's not what I'm talking about. The dynamics of business has changed over the years. And the Western world, they've mastered the game. They're dealing with China, they're dealing with other countries. But Africa is still a raw material zone. What do we need to do to put our acts together? We need to begin to study, first of all, what we have, what's the value in the world, how can we opt that value, how can we add value to the commodity that we have and become a strategic partner in the selling, in the procurement, first of all, of that commodity, the selling of that commodity, and the returns of that commodity. You know, because take a case study like my country. We're not producing anything. So we are called the donor-oriented country. And this is one of the most wealthiest countries in the world. How is that happening? Because the people that were taught to be in management, I'm talking here about government, I'm not talking about politics here, I'm talking about the reality of what business is.
Maybe even civil servants.
Exactly, well that's where I was going. You cannot send a civil servant to go negotiate on a mine and leave the engineers behind and leave economics that are people like us,
the experts
that know what to do, that know how to negotiate, and leave us behind and say, oh, you're going to sign with a multinational whose game is commodities. And he's made you part of that commodity because you don't know what you have in your hands. So you just short sell. So these are the things we are saying, that the education that needs to be done today. I've just opened a group on Facebook that I call the Business Guru. The aim of the Business Guru is to train people that already have existing businesses how to maximize their products, to let them become marketable to a point where they'll get the maximum benefit out of what they have. So these things, it's a big task. I know that. It's a huge task. Africa is wide open. But then our minds are also wide open to assimilate these facts and move on.
That's really, really great. In business, when we come to business, we cannot do business without strategies.
No.
So when you come to business, what do you think with your level of experience you have? Because if something you've started since 1980 something, you're looking at
Well, I
almost two
started way before
decades.
that. I started way before that. I grew up in a family that were traders.
Okay, so give us a little bit
And
about your
so
background.
when I was going to school, interestingly, if you know about the Fullers in Sierra Leone and across Africa, they're traders. They're basically traders.
Okay.
So I was sent to school, and when we finished on weekends, they would send us to the shops to sell. And that's why I started my own merger and acquisition training. I say this to people, they laugh. I say this to university, they laugh at me. We would go to the shops in the morning to sell. And my friends, that was our daily Saturday work. We have to go sell for the shop to make money. So I would go in the morning, and my specific product at that time, again, I come here about knowing your product. My specific product was soap. Now, why did I choose soap? We are selling in a locality where there are women that are trading, and their children are sitting down with them, and they need soap. Is a commodity that they need.
Yeah.
So I would take my soap there in the morning, a whole pack of it, and go and supply them. And then I'll go about my business. I'll go play football for the rest of the afternoon. I come back late in the evening. They would have sold. They would have made money in their own business, and I collect my money. If you don't have soap to give me, you could give. If you're selling cassava, you give me cassava. Whatever you have, I started my commodity, my barter system right there, and developed it today to what I'm doing. So that's where I came from that background. So that's my business background. But to go back to what you were saying here, we need to first of all understand the dynamics of what you're selling, because the market is trending. Every market is changing every day. So you need to be able to understand your market. You need to be able to understand your clientele. You need to be able to understand your supply levels. Now all this has to do with training, because you cannot just put stock and cannot sell the stock. Even the station where you are in here, if you don't have the clientele that will keep the station running to bring in money here, then it's going to be a burden on the management. And that's not the desire for creating the station. It must be a marketable entity. So these things need to be looked at very critically before you go into any business. These are some of the challenges you will face.
So basically, you have to do a critical analysis of what
Absolutely.
you went to do.
Absolutely.
And without
You know
that,
your strength,
and
your
yes,
weaknesses,
you have to know your strength, you
Yeah.
know your weaknesses,
Yeah.
you do SWOT,
SWOT
you do
analysis.
toes,
Yes.
the analysis,
Yes.
all these things.
All of it.
And what do you want to tell people that want to run business? They've got their own expertise, but they think they can do all the other things without actually knowing business administration, how to administer business.
Oh, you're an accident going somewhere to happen. That's the shortest explanation I can give for you here. Because you need to have a business background. You need to be able to understand the dynamics of business before you go into any business. And that dynamics also, as I said to you, is studying. Like today, when we went to school, they used to tell us about demand and supply. It's still in existence today. But then there's a level that is got to today where people talk today about financial engineering. Before you talk about engineering, you're thinking of machines and engines.
Yeah.
But there's financial engineering today. How do you bring money from the stock market? How do you bring money from the financiers out there? Who are your financiers? Who do you go to? Do you want to go to frontline banks to pay them exorbitant rates? Or do you want to look for angel investors if you can find them? How do you get somebody who's got the money to part with this money to support your business? And a seasoned businessman, if you come to me with an investment plan, the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your business plan? That business plan should be able to give me an insight of whether your business will make money or not make money. And because of my experience also, when you tell me of the product that you want to bring to me, I should be able to see the pitfalls there and decide whether your business is worth putting money into or not worth putting money into. And basically, before even I get to that level, I need to know how much money you have put into that business. How much time have you put into that business? Who are your managers? What is your role going to be in that business that you're claiming you want me to put money in? All these things are very key.
Yeah.
So basically.
When you talk about something like that, when someone asks you and they've got a business background and you went to do merger and acquisition, basically merger, for the benefit of the ones that don't know, merger and acquisition is like you buy a company, you put them together, you either make them they either become a subsidiary of your own parent, your company become the parent company. So that's how it is. You join two businesses together and then they can operate. Sometimes they operate independently, sometimes they operate as a joint company. but it's not a collaboration. Merger and acquisition is not a collaboration. Mostly they go and they buy this business.
Well, that's a good side. That's
yes.
a tough side. That's a tough side in that also.
It is.
They are forced mergers. You know, these people, when they come in, well, people with their background, when they come into this kind of business, they try to study the business first and try to look at the weaknesses and the possible strengths. And if they realize that they have the leverage for the strength, they might not tell you. They might convince you to sell the business off. And a very nifty businessman there might have other companies that are waiting to buy from you. And it's all within their own plan. Once they buy you off, they run the business and upgrade it and then sell it off. And that's how they make money. Yeah. I've seen that happen countless times. You know, it's a difficult world, but you have to know your game. And knowing that game is you must have a background of business to be able to go into it. A solid background.
I've seen, which is really good. I have seen people going into business. They don't have any business background, and they want to run or manage business. How will they work? Will it be favorable to them? I know, okay, they can concentrate on their expertise while they outsource. But which way do you think in running the business? Which way do you think? Well, which way should they go and study business management or get a bit of, like there is something like when it's in finance, they say finance for non-financial managers, things like that. Do you encourage them to do things like that?
Well, what I would say to you here is there's a difference between an entrepreneur and a worker who wants to get into business. Today is a normal thing when people get to a certain age in life, they realize that the work they've been doing, that's what I call the highly paid slave. I'm sorry to use that word.
No, don't
but
worry.
He's highly educated. He spent all his life in education, PhDs like myself, spent all their life in education, focused in one stream, and then age begins to catch with them. They pass 40 now, they begin to think, oh, I've lost out, let me go into business. And they don't have the dynamics of business. What is your end result? You are going to fail once, maybe twice, maybe by the third time you would have started picking up the ropes. But what you could do with it for yourself, in today's world, is very, very easy. This phone that I hold in my hand here, if I go into Google, at the click of a button, I can be able to have information in my palms. Yeah. Information is key today in business. And the training that you need could be done online.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I created this group that I call the Business Group. My plan there is to train existing business people how to move from the level where they are to the next level. And it's a process that you'll have to go through. It doesn't happen overnight. If you want to do it overnight, you're going to look for trouble. People will take your money away. You yourself will give your money away and blame people that they took your money, but you gave your money away because you did not know what to do. You've not trained yourself in that level. If you call, when I came to you and I told you, you know that I'm a PhD holder, you don't know whether I'm a medical doctor or an academic. The disaster would be for you to feel sick and say, oh, doc, I'm not well, can you help me? I can't help you because I'm not a medical doctor. So that's just the plain bottom line. You know, it's the same like going into business. You don't know the dynamics of the business, but you want to go into it. That's why the business plan is key. Yeah. You know, so.
And before you go into business, basically, you need to find out, as a business holder, what I want to form a business, but what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Because you need to use your strength to combat opportunities, and with you can use your strength to see how you can work with your threats as well. So when it comes to things like that,
one area you need to master first of all is your cash flow.
Yeah,
it's fundamental. It's key for any business. You see, I've seen people before. They go take a loan, and they say, oh, this loan is a business loan. And then they remember that his fridge in the house is not working.
Yeah.
So he says, well, let me buy the fridge and I make money, I will place it. That's disaster number one. Capital, they call it capital because it's capital. It's meant to sustain the business. That's what you should work in within and then go and develop it. You have to make up your mind, and that's why I said there's a difference between an entrepreneur that is trained to go into business and the man who decides to, at a given time, because of opportunities, says, well, I want to become a businessman. They're two different. Now, the worker mentality, this is key. The worker can only survive for 3 months, 90 days. After that, he needs a job. He's a job seeker. That's why in the Western world, they have job seekers. You know, they even give you an allowance to job seek. All right? Yes, now, I don't focus on job seek. It will amaze you. The only job I've ever held in my life is the one I created myself. You know, because under the dynamics of wealth creation, the entrepreneur knows when to wait. The entrepreneur will go into a project, he'll wait for 5 years for the reward. And when the time is right, he'll come up and make money out of it. And that's when you start hearing, now, oh, this man sold his business for X amount of money. You start thinking, why have I been all this time and that man is making money? I thought I went to school with him. He knew the dynamics of the game. So it's key and important. And that cash flow issue, you must be able to understand what comes into your business and what goes out, when and how it comes in, and when and how it goes out. You don't party on your capital.
And when and how to spend it.
Well, that's what I mean. You don't have a philanthropic drive on your capital. You're not going anywhere.
You find out people that start business, and let's even look at this Western world, for example.
Yeah.
When people start business, they'll give you things like loan, lots of things will be given to you when you start in business. And you might look at it like, oh, this is my opportunity, it's my time to shine. Then you start buying things, you start taking a new car, you start, they'll offer you even equipment, without you thinking, okay, how am I going to get this money to pay back? Because don't forget, there's interest added onto it. So what will you advise our young business person that is starting a business to do?
The first thing you need to do, first of all, is to forget about your new wardrobe that you want to change when you start a business. Forget about the new shoes that you want. Forget about the new house that you want. Go the business first. The business will reward you. It is obvious the reason why you go into business is for you to make profit. But for you to make that profit, you have to be able to understand the environment in which you want to do the business.
Okay.
It's key. Who are your clientele? What is the role? What are the needs of that clientele? How can you meet the particular need that you have? How can you market it to them? And when they begin to respond to you, and you're going for a loan, first of all, if you don't need a loan, don't go for it. Money is not passive. Any passive money you put in the bank, I don't want to go to that aspect. That's another story. Bankers are my friends, but I want them to invest my money, not keep it for me. Because when they keep my money, they invest it for themselves. So when you take their money, when you take money from them, it's not wrong to borrow. There's responsible borrowing. You need to know this. There is a responsible level of borrowing that will grow your business. Yeah. There comes a point in time when every business needs to look at the possibility of getting outside capital. I spoke about venture capitalists. I spoke about angel investors. These people are there there might be your uncle or your aunt that wants to. There are not many out there anyway. The banking system is regulated to a level where if they give you a loan, you have to meet the needs of that loan. You have to service the loan. If you don't service the loan, then nothing is working for you. So what you need to do is you need to know exactly how much you need to take from the bank or whoever is giving you that loan, how much you're going to use to turn over, and when the returns come, the first thing you need to do is take the interest off and pay off the interest.
Okay.
Because if you accumulate interest, you're looking for trouble. You might lose the whole business because you just swallow up the whole thing. So it's very interesting, but it's very challenging also. Yes.
It is. But when you look at business, I know there are lots of opportunities, but basically in business there are challenges when you start a business.
Of course.
So what are the challenges people face when starting a business or running a business?
One of the challenges you face is that your components that you're selling, your commodity that you're selling, might not be a known commodity.
A time of years,
You have to market. You have to market it. And that marketing aspect of it also is financially intensive, and also it takes a lot of your strength. And sometimes when you go into this process, frustration comes in.
Yeah.
But I have the 5 P's of business. I'll get into it lastly before we finish this project, this program this evening. But that perseverance is what drives you. You must have passion for your business. Yeah. You must be able to see where you want to go. And that means you must have done a market survey and know exactly the returns that this business will bring you. And if it does not happen, you keep on hanging in there. That's a tough part of it. That's why the investor differs from the man that jumps into business. The entrepreneur knows when there are businesses I've invested for 5 years in, I'm still investing in them, nothing has come out of it. But I know somewhere down the line, 6 years, 7 years, when the time is right, you just hit the button there and that's it. So.
Which is very good. Before we go, I'm going to just read some adverts here that we have. And before I even go to the advert, let me see I've got viewers online or watching us. I've got Karen Amara, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, Francis, for watching, joining this program. Augusta Thomas, thank you very much for watching. Anna Baby Bangura, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, everyone. I'm not saying because I'm using the other side to work, for everyone that is actually online with us on Noble People Television. This is Business Surgery. If you want to talk about your business, you want to talk about yourself, As long as you're an entrepreneur, tell people what you do. Contact us on Noble People Television here at the Art of London. The details are on the screen. If you want to advertise your program, just contact us on Noble People Television. My name again is Bernadette Abu. Oh, you think I love my name? I do. My name is Bernadette Abu. With me, I've got a lovely guest here, Dr. Momodu Conteh. So, but I'm going to tell you there's City Cruise, an online car hire. It started in United Kingdom already. The address is 344 to 354 Grays Inn Road, Greater London, WC1X8BP, London. The telephone number to contact is 0738 524. And in Nigeria, you want me to give you the address in Nigeria? In Nigeria, it's Adebola House, Suite 100 Real, 38 Opebi Road, Ikaja, and the number is actually 0204 0234 0813 800580. And let me tell you about the company, what they do. They are actually a cruise company, which is actually, I think, a car hire, online car hire. It says here, are you an investor, car owner or driver? City Cruise is looking for a reliable individual. So if you're a driver, if you're an investor, if you own a car, maybe you're not a driver, but you own a car and you want them to utilize it. They're looking for reliable individual. You have to do, you see the word here, there's a keyword here. It was in bracket comma. You have to be reliable. That's what they're looking for. A reliable individual to take up franchise at City Cruise. So City Cruise, they do online car hire. Contact them. The details are on the screen. My producer will put on the details for City Cruise so that you can get it properly, and then you will be able to do this car hire. And again, on the 14th, we've got Africana Ball. Don't forget, Africana Ball is right in Camberwell. So come down to Camberwell, Africana Ball 2018. Don't miss out. We'll show you the next details of the Africana Ball as we go along. But welcome everyone that is joining us on this program. My name is Bernadette Abu. And if you want us to put your details on our magazine, this is Noble People Television. We have our own magazine. If you want to advertise your company, you want to advertise what you do, the next edition is coming out at the end of the month. So if you want your details to be on our magazine, you want to be our guest in Noble People Television, I know if you wondering what was on our lap. It's Noble People magazine. So all my viewers, if you want to actually it's a very big magazine, and it's actually not only, you can get it in London here, you can get it in Nigeria, in Ghana. So they've got lovely things there, lovely pictures, lovely company, businesses, organization, community program, different things on this Noble People magazine. So if you want your details to go worldwide, contact us on Noble People International magazine. My name is Bernadette Abu. I'm your Noble presenter for today for Business Surgery. Let me get back to my guest. Yes, Dr. Momodu Conteh.
Yes, ma'am, right here.
Yes, we earlier only talk about the 5 P's.
Yes.
Actually, I like when people talk about things that it gives me a buzz, because these are things I like to talk about. We talk about the 5 P's. Tell them the challenges. What challenges someone will face. Because most time people think, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, but they think, okay, it's just going to be that. They see people go online and tell you can make 5 figures in
Overnight.
Maybe overnight or within a week, but I have started different businesses, and I know you just don't make 5 figures unless if you're going to put 10 figures in as investment. You're not going to make 5 figures the next day, because there's expenses. Even if you put 10 figures in, it's going to reduce because there are other expenses on it. And it was good you spoke about cash flow. That's when you get your expenses and the other thing. There are expenses on it. And when you get these expenses, you know you're going to spend money, you're investing on something. It's really great to be an entrepreneur. I would advise anyone to go for being an entrepreneur instead of working for someone. I don't say don't work for people. No, you can do that both side by side. Actually, you can do that side by side as you get along. And when you think which one is right for you, not everyone is made to be an entrepreneur as well, don't get me wrong. Some of you are made to be entrepreneur, but you're still into working for other people. Whereas you've got the right skills, you've got the expertise, you've got even the calling on it to say, this is what I know, this, your spirit tells you this is what you should be doing. So, but when people go into business, they just think business is just a quick, easy flow. You can make money anytime. There's no challenges, there's no obstacle. What do you think about that?
Well, maybe let me give you an example of what we've done in the past 4 years. Yeah. We've been developing a company in Sierra Leone, and it's now a UK-based company, Renaissance Structures Limited. We discovered that there's a need of housing in Africa, especially in our own region where we come from. We're talking about affordable housing.
And where is Africa, and where in Africa, and where in...
We're based in Sierra Leone.
Oh, you're based in Sierra Leone?
Yes, yes. But it's now a UK-based company at the same time. Because we've now gone to a level where we now think we can attract the outside world into what we are doing there. And we're focusing our attention on here again we found a need. A lot of the aspirants that are here, they've been sending monies back home to build homes, and homes are never built. They send them skyscrapers when they go there, they make tin shops. So we're solving that problem for them. Okay. We're doing SIP homes. These are still insulated panels, homes that have a 100-year guarantee of existence, with everything there done for you at a given level. Sometime this year, we'll come back to the UK and we'll launch it officially, wherein we'll be able to show you exactly what we are doing, and there will be homes standing there in Africa that you will see people touching and feeling the homes are standing there. You know, and we got a contract to the government of Sierra Leone to build 1,000 homes for income for the civil servants, and that's an ongoing project now. But we've now got to a level where we think now we can now move out, and that comes with planning.
Yeah.
That comes with the passion of wanting to do business. And mind you, as I'm saying it to you, my PhD is not in construction. I have no clue about construction, but I know how to sell the business. Okay. So I have engineers, I have architects that are putting the plan work together. I have seasoned accountants that are working with us to make sure the company will do what it's supposed to do and will develop and produce. These are key things when you want to go into business. There have been tremendous challenges of people not understanding what your product is, selling the product, getting the government to give you approvals. There are so many challenges there that could have made me quit overnight. But because I have a team, again, teamwork is key here. The one-man business with the sole entrepreneurship used to be, many, many years ago, you hear about Peter and Sons, John and Sons. It's a sole trader.
But even John and Sons, you see, they have sons. So
well, exactly.
They've got other
when
people.
The Sons came in, they decided that, no, John and Sons is not the only thing again. Let's go John and Sons Limited.
Yeah.
I always tell people, don't run a one-man show. Go corporate.
Okay. Yeah.
The benefits of corporate, they are challenging at the beginning, but at the end, they pay your taxes. I mean, I'm sitting down there talking to you. When Renaissance Structures got into the UK, they'll pay taxes to the UK government. Yeah. It's our own contribution to the development of the UK, shocking as it is, but that's what it is, So these issues need to be looked at at a very critical level. For you to be able to go into business, you need to know what you want to do, what you want to trade in, what challenges you're going to. You have to be prepared for those challenges because they're coming. They are seen challenges. They are unforeseen challenges. And the unforeseen challenges are much more than the seen challenges. So if you're not geared towards the mind of an entrepreneur.
But what are these challenges? What are the challenges?
There are many. The dynamics of the market can change overnight.
Okay.
Like I'm telling you about the SIP product today. Somebody had me and said, he wants to bring SIP. I have something far much more better than the SIP product. And before I get on the ground, he begins to market his own product. If I don't have a sure clientele, I have a challenge there. Okay. And those buildings are not cheap. Money should have been spent on it. And so I have to face that challenge. The competitive challenges out there also that I have to look at. And then there's also the very, I'm trying to look for a right word for it. The location where you find yourself. The challenges of the location where you find yourself.
Basically, that will reach again to the 5 P's place.
Well, if you want us to go to the 5 P's
yes,
now.
that reach to the part of the 5 P, which is place.
Yes, your placement. Yes. It's very key. And that's what I call strategic positioning in business. And it's so key that if you miss that turning, it's like on the highway. If you miss your turning, maybe you have to go 10 miles down the road to find your way back. And by the time you come back, it will be dark. You might not be able to see your way very clear. So chart your course before you leave. It's key. That's what part of my first, the 5 Ps. In your passion, have direction. Know where you want to go.
So here, if you have passion, you need to have direction.
Absolutely. If you have passion without direction, you might be throwing blows in the air and not
Okay.
hitting any target. You know. So, and then there's the aspect of planning.
Yeah.
The planning aspect of it is key. You have to have immediate plans. You have to have short-term plans. You have to have long-term plans. You know, one of the things that I like about the Western world, they plan 50 years ahead. We don't think like that. That's why today you find that most African countries, they're called highly impoverished countries. And they have wealth on the ground, but yet they're highly impoverished. Why are they highly impoverished? The people have been taught to think for the day. What am I going to get today? What's in it for me and my family? What's in it for me and my immediate, environment? It doesn't work that way. You have to think strategically. You have to start thinking, like I said, 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, where you want the business to go. And above all, in all this thinking, you must have an exit plan. If I want to change my mind, I want to leave the business, what am I leaving with?
Where do I go?
If I want to sell the business, what am I going away with? What am I leaving behind that will make the man that buy my business be able to continue with the business? Do I leave him a plan that to be a workable plan that will convince him to buy the business? Then you can sell. As I say to you right now, I have ready products. I call them products because their businesses in their own. I have ready products I can sell tomorrow morning if I want. But because of the value of the product, I take my time to look at the investor. That's why strategy comes in. You need to know who you're dealing with. And then there's the aspect of perseverance. It's not always going to be shiny. Some mornings if you wake up, you feel like, well, I want to quit. And that's when the worker will quit and the entrepreneur will stay.
Yeah.
The entrepreneur's mind is made up that I'll wait for 10 years. If it takes me 10 years to wait, I'll wait until the right moment for me to move. So these challenges will show up. And then the lack of capital. You know, every business needs startup capital.
It does.
Now, it's proven that many businesses, within the first 3 years, they phase out. If you're not able to make a break even within the first 2 years to the third year, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You have to start evaluating your business. You have to start evaluating the product of your business and think whether this product is really going to make it to the market or is going to be another dead on arrival. All these things need to be looked into. That's why I said the challenges in business, there are many.
So if someone, let's say a new business or a young entrepreneur, let me ask you about, before I go to new businesses, Nevada. At one time, I know they were working teaching people how to build houses,
Yes.
construction. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well-
because construction is one of the things I have recently gained interest in.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes, I've recently gained interest in.
Okay.
I've got some people who were like checking and
Okay.
looking to put something up. But for now, let's talk about Nevada.
Okay, what we did in Nevada was primarily created as a mining company. But we realized that alongside the mining, we are going to move people from where they are to new locations. So we started thinking of the need of creating a housing scheme. And in the process, we discovered that it could not be a Nevada affair. We had to create a subsidiary company that is now called Renaissance Structures. Renaissance Structures Limited is purely a construction company. And under that company, we are building houses. You can build your brick house if you want to, but our focus now is on the SIP products. The SIP products, we realize that they are advantageous for Africa. They are quick to put up. You know, they resist floods, they resist storms, they're bulletproof. It's amazing what those structures look like. And so those are the ones that we are marketing now. It doesn't take you 20 years to build. What I like about that project is we've created a mortgage scheme wherein wherever you are in the world, if you got your own land, you can bring us your land as collateral. Very interesting. You bring us your land as collateral, you put a percentage down. The company will fund the building for you and you pay us on a monthly installment basis.
Okay, your own land.
Yes.
Well, that's actually a good one.
Yes.
And while they're building the place, they can't afford to pay you. How does that work?
Well, that's another story. It's negotiable. It's business. Well, these are some of the challenges we're talking about. Let's say you're a worker, and you come to us and you bring your land as collateral, and then business goes bad for you. Because of the magnitude of what you are doing, we'll give you room to be able to develop yourself. We'll give you room with possibilities that are. I don't want to start shouting at those possibilities until the time comes when we come to you and say, help us with our publicity. That's what we put the full package. But it's not going to be a situation where you will not be able to pay.
I would love
Because
to do that for you.
what has been happening? What has been happening is people have been sending monies to Africa for houses.
Yeah.
They don't see the houses when they go there. They send bulk money. We're not saying to us, give us bulk money. Put a part payment down of what you want to do and spread your payments for a period of time. But at the same time, your payments come, your payment do not come. We're still putting the house up for you. Because we have your land as collateral. If you choose to walk away from your house, I'll give you a handshake. But the fair way will not do that.
No, 80% of people will not do that. They
Yes.
will actually either make away or, well, I'm not here to give them idea on
Well, let's
what they
leave that
do.
till the time
They'll
when we
do
come
lots,
with our
there are
market
lots of
strategy.
ways they can sort it out.
Yes.
There are lots of ways to like sort it out. And I think if you've got a beautiful house and you see how it looks,
Oh, those houses are lovely. I've
yes,
seen them.
then you might think, oh wow, this is just what I was looking for. Because everyone wants a place to live or a place to call your own. Because I know when people send money, you've been working here, sometimes you're waking up early in the morning, waking up on a snowing day, even on a hot day, extremely hot day, you have to go to work. And then you gather this money, send it back home thinking it's an investment on yourself. But at the end of the day, you go home, not even go home, they give you pictures of something that is not a house or your house.
Another safety catch that we have here for you. You'll be dealing with a UK-based company.
Okay,
You're not dealing with a company out there in Shangri-La. You're
okay,
dealing with a company that is here that you can lay hands on.
Okay.
Solicitors are there in that company, the accountants there in that company.
Okay.
I'm talking about FSA that controlled financial houses that are
like a
making-
proper limited company.
It's a limited company.
A proper company.
It's a limited
yes,
liability company registered in the UK. That's what you'll be dealing with.
yeah. Okay.
You know, so that assurance is there.
Someone that knows the language, knows the same language as you.
Indeed. And our partners are also UK based.
Oh, that's really great.
Yes, the engineers, most of them are UK based. So
You
nobody
see.
will play games with you. You have somebody to lay hold on.
So you're not just doing
Under the laws of the UK.
You see, you're not only doing help and building a house for
Yes,
yourself,
yes.
or you're not only doing business with Nevada, but at the same time you're helping your brother as well, because then you create job. As we talk about job, that wasn't part of my thing, but I think I will ask you that question. With that, are you actually creating job for people in Sierra Leone, or are you taking expats only from UK?
No, what we've done
It's
here.
a good question. It's not my question, but I would ask him because
what we've done here.
we're
We've
looking at
created a
finance and
model.
account
We've
business.
created a model here.
Yeah.
We'll bring the experts. Amazingly, we're not just taking experts from here. We're taking experts from even China.
Okay.
We're bringing them in to train in this particular project, this housing project. We'll be employing something like 3,000 locals.
Yes, please.
It's only the engineers and the top ones that will be experts.
Okay.
That will train.
3,000.
Yes.
So you're creating jobs for 3,000
Absolutely,
people.
absolutely.
But Chinese people don't employ other people
Well, we're not bringing them as employers. We're bringing them as workers.
as workers.
Yes, they're
so
coming
they
to
don't.
work.
So they don't have any hands
No,
in the
no,
recruitment.
in the management. No.
They don't need to come with
It's
their brother.
It's purely.
They don't need to come with
structure.
Choncha and
You know, if Choncha is coming, they have to be within their own locality.
Without- okay.
We just know that Lou is coming to train
Mary and
1,000
John.
1,000 of our people.
Okay.
We know that. That's what he's paid for.
Yeah.
When he finishes his job and the transfer of knowledge has been given to our people, we'll bid him fair, we'll give him a party and send him back home.
Okay.
You know.
So how would if someone want to get employment in Nevada, how can someone apply to work in Nevada?
Well, on the
in
construction-
Sierra Leone, I'm more particular about the Sierra Leone Nevada than UK.
No.
In Sierra Leone, someone want to get. Have you already got your 3,000 staff or?
No.
You haven't.
I'll tell you, let me tell you a very interesting story.
Yeah.
The community where we are going to build these houses for government is in a place called Bure Town.
Okay,
Bure Town, the development
I'm
is this is
trying to
between
think if I
this is
know
between
Calvert Town?
no, it's beyond Calvert Town. This is between Benguima, Kerry Town, where the Ebola was famous during the Ebola.
Okay,
Between
yeah.
Kerry Town, beyond Kerry Town, going to Tumbo, and then you get down to Bure Town.
Okay.
It's not a very explosive area as at now, but it's got some of the most pristine beaches you're thinking of in the world.
Wow.
And 1,000 government workers are going to be located there.
Government workers.
Yes.
From your end or from the government
Not
itself?
from the government's end. The first part of the project, we are building homes for government.
For government.
Once those homes are completed, they will move their
So
people
basically,
there.
it's like a new city
Then
being
you see-
created.
Exactly.
So if someone wants to get a job, because
Yes.
I know a lot of people in Africa who
Yes.
says, "Oh, auntie, send for me." Oh, auntie. So if I want to find job for them,
Well, if you want to find jobs
how
for
can I
them,
start bidding for
once-
jobs? Don't
once
worry,
you
if you're my friend, you see, that's why you should be friends with me on Facebook. If you're my friend, you see, I'm trying to lobby for you how you can get a job in Nevada. So you see, if you're in Sierra Leone, that's share my program. So if you share the
when you're in Sierra
program,
Leone, it's not Nevada that's going to employ you. It's Renaissance Structure.
Renaissance
The subsidiary-
Structure, so
subsidiary
you-
of Nevada.
yeah.
That's the company that's going to employ you.
Okay.
As long as you have a Sierra Leonean,
Do you have a website where they can apply?
we'll get to that level.
Okay.
We'll get to that level.
Don't worry, my friends.
And you know-
you're still in line. Don't worry,
For
you're
you to
still in
apply in Sierra
line.
Leone, the website option might not be your best option. The best option will be to show up with your ID card
Okay.
at the recruitment center. And once you qualify, you're a carpenter, you're a mason,
Okay.
you know, they will have employment for you. You'll be within that bracket of the 3,000 that will be employed there. So that is assured.
Yeah,
An assured.
Actually,
you know,
you're doing well
company.
because
Yeah.
3,000 workers, a lot of people taking, and you're providing work for, which
Yes.
is really good.
Yes.
It's not just because when I look at business, I look at how you're going to impact life. How are you going to change other people's life? It's not just about, okay, how am I going to be great or how am I going to be famous? Because for me, business is not about being famous. I normally tell some people that I've been a country
We're service
darling.
provider.
I've been a country darling before, so if I want to be famous, I don't go into business. But business is like you provide service, but at the same time, you helping to solve a particular problem in an environment. That's what business is about, solving problems. So if you're creating job for people, that is actually a very, very good stage, which I really appreciate you, and congratulations to you, and congratulations to the government of Sierra Leone for even embarking on such a program like this.
And we have a great team that's working with us. I believe in teamwork. That's another key aspect also in the challenges of running a business. You must have a team that know their way. Like I said to you
The right
earlier
team.
on,
I like the word that know their way, not just.
I'm not a contractor.
Yeah.
Neither am I an architect. But I can, of course, I can read plans. I did technical drawing when I was in school, so I am able to read a plan. But I'm not. That's not my core. That's not my core drive. That's not my core thrust. I want to go there.
You did technical drawing when you were
Oh,
in school?
yes.
Okay, then you can.
I went to technical school.
Okay, then you
when
can
it was
do-
technical school in those days, when
the
you taught all the
institute.
art. I went both to the school and the institute.
Okay, because I know the institute.
My first diploma that I ever got in my life was in motor vehicle engineering, draftsmanship.
Okay.
So that's
So do
I
you
have
make?
my background.
So do you make motor vehicles?
I don't make motor vehicles, but the mechanics don't play games with me down in Africa.
Okay.
They know that I know my job, so we talk when we need to talk.
Tell me a little bit about your background, because you see, I actually just say, oh, I have a PhD. I didn't know you have a PhD because I actually know you as doctor instead of like a reverend or something.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about, I'm going back to the second question I asked you. Tell me a bit about your academic background. You never mentioned the construction.
Yeah.
Tell us, let them know who
I
they're
went
talking.
to school. I went to school. I was a co-educational school. That was the government technical school in Sierra Leone.
And speak up so that they hear you,
And,
so that my
I went to that school and ended up being the head boy of the school. That's why my leadership acumen started showing up.
Okay.
And I was grateful to my teachers there. Then when I finished there, I went to the institute to do my engineering course, and I did my engineering course, and I finished there. Then I jumped into the church work.
Yes, please.
Yes, and I was trained as a minister. I went through my academic training as a minister and came out of there and started a church. But at the same time, this passion for business was driving me. So I went back to study.
Okay.
Yes, and I went back to study, and during my studies also I developed myself, both academically and at home. Until today, I'm a very vast reader. My structures around about me are full of books, both online and paperback.
Okay.
I love reading. I
That's
love to
good.
develop myself. So even now, if there was a higher level of education than PhD, trust me, I'll go for it. I'm that hungry, I'm that voracious.
Which is good. So
You
you
know.
can just develop and work on different research as well.
Yes.
So
I do research. In fact, I'm thinking now, this concept I'm talking to you about the wealth of Africa being shortchanged and being short sold.
yeah.
I want to do a thesis. I want to do, and I'm thinking about, I
A
don't know yet
research paper.
a research paper. I don't know yet who I will do it. I've not decided who I will do it with. But to get Africa to be able to understand that we're not a raw material zone.
Yeah.
We have to create a.
Are you not a donor country either?
No. I thank God for the Western world what they've done. You know, interestingly, I worked for a major European outfit for 11 years.
Okay.
And we were taking aid to Africa. I took hundreds of thousands worth of materials
Okay.
into Africa over a period of 10 years. And I trained pastors during those 10 years with European aid, basically from Norway. The nation of Norway has been very, very kind to us. I mean, when the war broke out, I was feeding 2,000 women. I'm talking about suckling mothers with high nutrient food from Norwegian companies. I did a lot of aid work at that time, but I began to realize that it was not solving a problem. You cannot be feeding me, giving me a fish every day, and I become dependent on that fish. Whilst I have the fish pond behind my house.
Okay.
You might even be catching my own fish to give back to me.
Yeah, and
So-
they sell you your own fish.
Well, I
They
didn't
don't
go
even
that,
give
I
you
didn't go
back.
that far. I didn't go that
They
far.
sell you your own
So we
fish.
changed the strategy. We said, no, let's go back to our people. Let's begin to educate our people that if you have land, farmland, don't just give it. Give it to conditions. So in all the contracts I have today and across that country, each and every one of my contracts plows back 20% of the proceeds to the community. So I don't have competitors that will throw me out of there overnight. And these are places where I was not even born.
Okay.
I got there as a stranger to invest with my team, and I have a dynamic team. Once we go into a place, we go for the chiefs, we go for the community, we make our presence felt and our presence known there. So when we live there, we live with a tangible contract that is binding to both the community and us. You know, so it's been
It's
an
good.
uphill.
I like when you do community work as well, because working with the community is really great.
Yeah.
Because they can, I've seen investors go down, I think it was one of the mining companies which they say when they go down there, sometimes they will just close the road on them and they say they cannot pass, they need to pay fees. So if you're actually able to work with them and work in a straightforward format, it's really good.
Again, you see, the Western mind in Africa, it's been very interesting that we sit down here in the West and say we create aid packages for Africa without asking the African, what do you need?
Yeah.
If you do that, you get to the community, you want to go impose what you came with, they will fight you. I had all this experience, as I told you, when I was working for this Norwegian outfit. For 11 years, I was working for them. And I traveled across Africa. They took me to places that I never believed I could go. But it was good for me to have the experience. But I realized that all of Africa has the same problem. We have the resources. We don't know how to market our resources. So the strategy changed completely. We said, let's educate our people on what they have.
Yeah.
Let them go to the market with their own goods and trade their own goods.
Yeah.
You know, I've had experiences where I had Western partners that came to me once on a particular concession. They said to me, oh, well, we've gone to the stock market, we're going to raise money for you in the stock market, but they don't know you in the stock market, they know us.
Yeah.
So give the company, our company, rights to your shares, and then we will bring money for you. I said, it's not going to happen like that. Forget about that. That used to happen when my grandfather was alive.
And when you don't know about shares, and if you don't know about shares and pre-shares and other things,
You're gone.
shares,
You're
then
gone.
you can say, okay, yeah, they don't know me.
No, we're gone. So we fell apart. We fell out. And I still have that concession with me, you know,
Okay.
as part of the portfolio that we have. And these are lucrative concessions I'm talking to you about. And that's what we're trying to get Africa to be able to come up with and be able to look at so-called potential investors that come and say, let's sit down and talk. What are you coming with? If you want my asset, for what reason? What is going to be the returns to me in my locality where I'm at? Not even in the Western world, but where I'm at. What is going to benefit me?
Yeah.
You know, and I also know that there are trade barriers also.
Yeah.
Those trade barriers needs to be looked at. And that's where governments of Africa need to look at critically at the level of dealing with the West.
I asked that question. There was a program we had during the days of the last party, APC. They came and I asked them about barrier to trade. That's something I know, that there's no barrier to trade when it comes to Sierra Leone. Anyone can come and register as long as they bring in the money.
Well, I wasn't talking about the barriers in Sierra Leone. I'm talking about barriers about outside.
Yeah, but when you talk about barrier to trade, you need to have things that will stop you from doing certain things.
Yes.
If you're doing business in Africa,
Yes.
anyone can go and do business without much restriction.
No, I'm not talking about the restrictions. My barriers I'm talking about here, not even in the West, out there. That if you go with your money there, take like Sierra Leone, even now, it's much more better to do business in Sierra Leone. You can register a company in Sierra Leone today within 24 hours.
Okay.
48 hours maximum. You have a limited liability company in your hands. But my issue here is, let's take a commodity like coffee.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Coffee is being sold out there at $3 per ton on the high side when they pay you when your eyes are a little bit open, to pay $3.
Yeah.
You buy a jar of coffee in the supermarkets in London here for £5.
Okay.
That's not fair trade.
And how much coffee will they sell for like $3? The whole coffee.
It's a ton.
A ton of coffee.
A full bag of coffee for a bottle.
For the price of less than the price of.
You buy 10 for the price of one.
Wow.
So our idea is, let's develop the coffee there to a grade where
you can manufacture it.
Coffee being in Sierra Leone. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you have the right equipment and
exactly.
Let me don't use equipment, the right resources.
Yes. So if you're coming as an investor, don't just come to me to take my coffee away.
Okay. Manufacture it like
manufacture the coffee down there
and bring it.
There's nothing wrong with it. Give my people jobs.
Yeah.
And then come with my coffee. I have no problem. I will even come with you.
Okay.
If even the place don't enough to carry, I build the boat to come just to bring you
I understand what you're saying.
You know, so these are key issues that needs to be looked into. But it's got to do with government's willingness to be able to see it from that standpoint of view. There's too much of, and I can tell you this: the Western world is tired of Africa coming to beg.
Okay.
They're tired of us. It can be seen.
But they like it.
I don't think they like it.
Because you've got this phone and I take this phone from you, right?
Yeah.
And I know you have to make a call. And I'm holding your phone plus I have mine. What will happen to you? Are you not going to come and ask me make a phone call?
Did you notice before you took the phone first, I allowed you to take my phone?
Yeah, but then...
Because if I know the value of my phone and the essence of my phone, I'll hold my phone until I have reason to give it to you. That's what we are saying here.
Yeah.
That Africa should start looking at a negotiable standpoint of view. That's what I call a strategic partnership, and just coming on board. I don't just go on board. We need to talk.
I think strategy should be taught more in Africa these days.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying to you. Our education, I had a good shock once. My daughter went to a school that did their O-levels. We call it the London O-level exams.
Yeah.
And I came here as an excited father. And I went to the bookshops to look for the books that were prescribed for my daughter in school. Okay. And the lady that I met in the bookshop was looking at me like I came from Mars Planet. He said, these books are out of circulation. And I'm shocked. My daughter is about to take the London GC based on those books. Okay. So something is wrong somewhere. Okay. And there are British companies that are manufacturing books for us in that country that are selling those books. And I felt by coming here, I'll find this book cheaper. You know what happened to me? The lady was so gracious to go to Amazon and search for me. It took her 7 days to be able to find the books.
Why? What's the reason why she couldn't find the book?
Because the books are no longer in circulation in the United
Kingdom. So they don't use, basically that means it's out
of circulation.
Out of content, basically.
Yes.
So
and that's what my daughter is studying there for her O-levels.
And so you end up studying something
so when she comes out of school and with an O-level result that is London-based, it's a disaster in the making right there.
And it's actually called a London GCSE.
Yes. And I paid for it in pound sterling in my country. Wow. So these are the issues I'm looking at. That say we need to look at our education system again. And that's why in my country, I love this new administration that's coming up with free education. Yeah. Let me just don't be free for free. Yeah. Let it be quality free. So that by the time the child comes out of school at A-levels, he's able to go to university and do something with himself. Okay, share this program so people can hear this, because we're talking about, when we talk about Africa, it's not just like one, because it's like, just like they used to say when France sneezes. No, it's across. When they say, like, when France sneezes, Britain catch cold. So it's just the same thing. Basically, anything that happened in one European country will happen in the next. Because I have a dual role in Africa, I'm both a preacher and a businessman. I travel extensively in Africa and I see these problems all across. Okay. Even in developed countries like Ghana, we have the same problems there. Ivory Coast has the same problems. Okay. So it's not just a Sierra Leone thing, it's an African thing. We need to start, we have to rebrand ourselves all over again. How do you think we can rebrand ourselves before you go? Starting the way we're starting here. Yeah. You know, having a group of like-minded people that will understand the dynamics of business and say we're not going to do business as usual anymore. There's going to be fights. I am aware of this. I have fought so many battles to get to the level where we are today. And there's much more battles coming ahead of us. But we're ready for the fight. But when you talk about business and other things, when it comes to Africans, there are always this set of people who will always want to put themselves in front or want to put themselves in a particular position, but they cannot do the job. How will that dynamics change? It's very simple. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is always king. Yeah. So get the blind to see. Once the blind see, everybody sees where they're going. You
Yeah.
find yourself in a position. The adage in Africa is the liquids find their level.
Yeah, but then we don't want them, the liquids that are finding their level, and then the one which think they've got the bottle head that they're going to fill up the liquid. Basically, some of them don't have the right expertise, and you end up putting the ones with no,
One of the
they don't
saddest
have
things,
no like team to back them up.
Yeah.
But they always put themselves forward for certain things.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said the one-eyed man. But one of the saddest things that happened to Africa, in today's world, today as I speak to you, apart from China,
Yeah.
the largest labor markets today is Africa. Our youth are ready for work.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is they're not trained. Simply because so many wars that we did not manufacture, including Ebola war and the rest of them, came upon us from sources we're not able to understand. Not that we don't know, but we're not able to understand how it happened. So the child that was born 1 year, by the time like Sierra Leone, the child that was born 1 year, by the time the war finished, child is 11, did not go to school, no elementary school. The 11-year-old child is 20, no high school. The 20-year-old child is 30, no fundamental university. And this is the workforce that we have there now. These are the voters that are voting across most of Africa. So it's a challenge there. So we need to go back to that level of education, basic education, civic education, the values of life, the values of what we have, and not short sell. We saw the African mineral story in Sierra Leone. Massive success at first.
Yeah.
It gave us the highest rating you can think of in the world.
Yeah.
We became stars
Actually,
overnight.
was part of London stock market.
But the company was not owned by Sierra Leone.
Okay.
So that's another kettle of fish. It wasn't owned by Sierra Leone.
Wow.
So
Thank you very much, Fatima Conteh, for watching us. Thank you, baby Anna Bangura. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Augusta, Karen, everyone that is watching us. Thank you, and the Lord bless you. Share this program with your friends, with your family. Maybe they might be interested in Nevada. Maybe they might be interested in the construction company. They will, if you contact them, they will actually direct you where to go and who to actually talk to when it comes to this. And we really appreciate you watching. Now, this is Noble People Television. My name is Bernadette Abu. You're watching Business Surgery. And with me, I've got my lovely guest here, Dr. Momodu Conteh. So you see, that's why I normally tell people, when you meet people, you have to treat people with respect, because you don't know when you meet them back again. I actually first met him we actually first catch up on LinkedIn.
yes, yes.
So you see, that's what even today I was saying that when I post on social media, on Instagram, I was saying, connect with positive people. One, you don't even know when you're going to meet them. You don't know how you're going to meet them. But if you have positive thinking and you connect with positive people, it will help you in building your own business. So always select like-minded people. Find positive people. And try to be authentic. Be yourself. Because if you be yourself, then you can be able to make friends with people, no matter who they are. So that's what you're going to see.
And one key thing I need to add here is you need to have a mentor.
Yes.
You need to have somebody who's trodden the path before, that has fallen and gotten up and still walking, that you will follow. And not by making their mistakes, but following them on a good path. And you should be accountable to them.
So that leads me to, I have to go and say hi to my mentor when I finish this.
Well, all right.
And because sometimes in life, when you talk about mentoring, sometimes in life when you start in business, you think, oh, you need a mentor. And as you go along, you think, okay, you're too big for things, There are times when you feel like, okay, I can be left alone. And when you know how to swim now, you think, I can swim.
As I sit here now, I have people that are watching me.
Yes.
When I finish this broadcast, I have to account for everything that I've said here.
Yeah, which is really, really good.
Yes.
And
Even though I'm chairman of my group, I'm CEO of the group or the other groups, I'm also the general overseer of my ministry. There are people that are watching me right now as I speak to you. I have to go account to them what I've said here.
But which is good, because I believe in mentoring, and I
Yes.
believe people should learn from other people's experience.
Absolutely.
And that's what is called wisdom.
Absolutely. Yes.
So it's really good. And this is Noble People Magazine, our own edition, and the new edition is coming out. If you want to be on our front cover, you see this lovely glossy paper. If you want to be on our front cover, contact us on Noble People Television. If you want us to put your details inside, right? Contact us on Noble People Television, and we'll be able to advertise your event, your program, whatever you do. If you want to, even if you just want to be famous, some people just want to be famous. If you want to be famous, we can help you to brand yourself. We were talking about rebranding Africa. We can help you to brand yourself as an individual. And before I go, we've got City Cruise, an online car hired. City Cruise is actually in the United Kingdom. The address is 344 to 354 Grace Inn Road, Greater London, WC1X 8BP, London. The contact number is 0738 34 39 524. And in Nigeria, Adebola House, Suite 100 Real, 38 Opebi Road, Ikaja. So if the details are on the screen and they'll put it, they've got service. Their services run from airport. They do airport services, door-to-door service, city packaging, deliverance service, corporate profile, and shopping trip. So if you want to contact City Cruise, they're looking for investors, car owner, drivers. So if you want to become a driver in City City Cruise, and they're looking for investors. If you want to be an investor, if you own a car, if you're a car driver, contact City Cruise, and they're looking for a reliable individual to take up franchise with City Cruise. So if you want to contact them, contact us on Noble People. I think the details are on the screen for City Cruise. Anything you want to know, apart from the phone number or their website details, it will come on the screen. My producer will put that on for you, but just contact us on Noble People Television. The telephone number to contact in UK is 0738 34 39 524. City Cruise. Contact them, and you will be able to for them to take you around anywhere you want to go. If you want to do airport services, door-to-door services, city packaging, whatever you want to do, delivery services, whatever you want them to do for you, they'll be able to do. Contact them and they'll give you more information. You're watching Noble People Television. This is Business Surgery. My name is Bernadette Abo. With me here, I've got Dr. Momodu Conteh, the CEO of Nevada Resources Limited. The company, the newbies who are going to not just build houses, but they're going to create. They've been in, like when I'm in newbie, the fresh one right now that actually they've got in line work jobs for 3,000 people in Sierra Leone. We're not just talking about two. We're not talking about 3 people. 3,000 people in Sierra Leone. You need to give them a clap, a handshake, because that's actually a step to improving the country, improving our own wealth, changing people's life, impacting on others, learning them skills, training them. That's not just for that project, but if you go ahead, you've learned that skill. It's a new, anything that you can learn, anything you've learned, no one will take it off your head. That's one thing I normally say. They can take everything out of you and you're left without nothing. But as long as you've got it up here, you can use it. You can use your brain, and if you've got your mouth to swear, you can use it to talk, use your hands. There are certain things when it's with you, you can be able to change your own life. So contact them on Nevada and they'll be able to help you out. They'll be able to show you the way out. I know you've been watching us. God bless you, everyone that is watching this program. Share this program with your friends, with your family. If they want to know about construction, they want to know about energy, because I know you do energy project. You didn't tell me anything about the energy project.
Well, when
I brought you, I didn't bring you here as a constructor or constructing consultant.
Yes.
I brought you as an energy consultant.
Service provider.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about Nevada Energy, about the energy aspect of it before we go.
We partnered with a company called US Diversified in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And we've been there for almost, call it 5 years now, maybe a little bit more than 5 years. Mm-hmm. But we had a lot of challenges. But it's now only now that the new administration has, we had a power purchase agreement before, but then in the past administration we had some challenges with certain government workers at that time that did not see it fit for us to start our business. So I don't want to go into that. But we are
that's politics.
Yes. This new administration has given us the opportunity of working again in Bo. We're service providers in Bo. Our machines are there. We have probably about 7 megawatts of power in Bo town, which means that very shortly I mean, the thing of blackouts there
Will
is very
change.
is very challenging.
Are you going to go to my town?
Where?
Port Local.
Port Loco. Well, interestingly, your town is also my town. My mother comes from that region,
Wow.
but they've got their own plans. This is a government thing.
You see, it's a small world.
We were already in Bo.
Where
already
in
in
Port
Bo.
Local does your mom come from?
My mom is from, well, my actually in Port Loco town. I've got family there. I've got family homes there. You know, so my mother is from Sanda actually, but you know these Sanda people they spread all across.
Okay.
So my roots goes way beyond that. But we are based in Bo now, and the project is running nicely. The new administration has given us a leeway for us to be able to, you know, work alongside them. But power is very interesting in Africa. Africa needs power.
Yes, and it light.
Africa needs power. We need anything. That's another big challenge in the development of Africa. If there's no power, it's a big challenge for any manufacturing
To do anything.
and to do anything. You know, so.
Even God, when he started, he made
That
light.
was the first thing he
Let
did.
there be light.
Yes, that was the first thing he did. He
So
created
if
light.
God said, let there be light, why
And
should
said,
he
"Let
say
there
in
be
your
darkness,"
country,
then
let
you're
there
looking
be
for trouble.
darkness?
You're looking for trouble. Anybody that does that is looking for trouble. You know, so. But I like what's happening in Africa.
And someone, Mohamed Bakal, said here, I've got a VS here that says, let me read this comment. We're tired to hear vibes. We want to see action, activities for the people of Sierra Leone. And what kind of activity, Mohamed, if you're listening to me, you've just posted. Tell me what kind of activities you want to see. Because this country, this company, they've actually, I actually was fortunate to know one of your workers, Idris.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've had too many workers there, but
Yes,
the name is
but
ringing a
it
bell. Where was it
light
based?
skin in Freetown, but
Okay.
they used to do, you know, the concrete block. You used to do that brownish block thing. They used to build block.
No.
Yes.
That might have been the Nevada before I got into it.
Okay.
Yeah, they were using
Because-
panel block systems then. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's
must
the
have been that.
that's the one they were doing, and I know they've been like building houses. I've seen those ones basically.
Yes.
So it's not like giving you vibes.
Yeah.
And
No, but
Mohammed,
you see-
are you looking for work?
Let me say
Contact
something.
me.
Let
You
me
know,
say-
maybe you might get a job.
Let me say something here. Mohammed is not the only one. Mohammed is the voice of the many voiceless out there.
Yeah.
Like I said to you earlier, on the Sierra Leonean youth is desperate for results.
Okay.
I'm aware of that because I've also shared that same feeling, that hopelessness that's driving them today. But the issue is they need to understand to give them a job is not as easy as they want to make it.
Okay.
Because the job is there, the job market there caters for certain levels of people. If you don't have a trade, you don't know any trade,
Okay.
you're just a laborer.
So now, what trade are you looking at?
The highest level you will acquire there is the minimum wages is today 500,000 leones in Sierra Leone. You cannot live on 500,000 leones, definitely.
No.
So these youths need to determine, to make up their minds to go do some
To
training.
learn something.
They need to learn a trade. Many of them are complaining, they are, oh, we don't have a revive, so we've not seen anything happening. It's because they don't have a trade. They're waiting for subsistence, and it's not going to work for them.
So
Somebody needs to
basically,
tell
you
them
need to
this.
go out there.
Yes.
You need to study something,
Yes.
and then you can be able
Yes.
to say, "This is what I have done."
Yes.
I had. I was on a radio program which someone asked me to do a trade or to get a degree because these days even every trade come with qualifications.
You have to be qualified.
Every trade come with qualifications.
When you have 3,000 workers there, people get excited. Oh, they can't get a job. We're going to get a job. But the sad thing here is, to be honest with you, maybe it's only 1% of that 3,000 that will score a high mark to get to be above the minimum wage. The rest of them will
Do
be
you have
labourers.
like a recruitment system?
We will have
How-
a recruitment system, but our aim there is to train them.
I think I can campaign to go down to Sierra Leone to
We
run
want to train.
recruitment.
We want to train them. We want to train them to have an entrepreneurial mind. Now, this
Yeah.
is just one of our projects. We have other projects that is going to employ much more people than that, but that's still in the pipeline, being developed with the government of Sierra Leone presently. But what I'm saying here is, you must be willing to be trained. You have to upgrade yourself. When you upgrade yourself, you sell yourself better. You know, I've been coming to the UK for many, many years. This is the first time I'm coming out to a project like this, saying to them that we are based here, we are working in Sierra Leone.
It says your comments of education hospital light facility throughout the country. Mr. Mohammed, elaborate on your question because I don't understand it and it will be hard for me to ask the question. You said your comment of education hospital light facility throughout the country. What does that mean? Let us know exactly what you meant about that. Then we'll be able to give you an answer. If we don't understand the question, we'll not be able to give you an accurate answer. We want to help you there. And He's talking about education and light in hospitals and light in
I don't remember us mentioning anything about
Well, that's
hospitals
why
and
I'm asking him, because if I don't understand it, and it will
Yeah.
be we've not talked about anything about hospital yet. We've talked about light because we talk about energy company, and he's actually stated that the Nevada will be working in Bow. That's the next project that is coming up, and they're actually working in Bow, not in the hospitals. We haven't got the locations yet for the Nevada in Bow, but if you stay tuned or if you follow them, do you have a Facebook page or anything?
the
How
company
can
is US
they?
diversified. If they go to the BKPS there,
Yeah.
they will find the people there. But what is interesting also, that aspect of Nevada Energy is a highly trained aspect. You cannot be a labor and go look for work there.
Okay.
The labor I work with might have for you guys to clear the sludge that's coming from the machines.
Okay.
But those machines are highly professional machines. You cannot leave them in the hands of a novice.
But you've got lots of. It's even good because you've got lots of graduates in
Yes.
Sierra Leone
Yes.
who doesn't have work.
Yes.
Are you intending to go through like the graduate system, or what kind of system
No,
are you
the
following?
company itself is ongoing. It's running now as I speak to you. The workers are there. They are working.
The 3,000 already.
No. This is we're talking about the housing here.
Yeah.
The one that's going to be under
The new one,
the
yeah.
new company,
Yeah.
Renaissance Structures Limited.
Yeah.
Once that happens, we'll go on the radio.
No
We'll use the
problem.
radio, we'll use the television to let them know equipment has started. But I must state here, the people in the location where we are going to get first priority.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Adebayo said, nice program. Thank you very much, sir, for watching. Mama said, this their basic. Oh, he's saying their basic need is education, hospital, light facility throughout the country. Yes, of course. Even me, I know that, because lots of people are actually dying for things that you can even give them a proper buffet for if they got the right kind of medication to help them. And Mr. Adebayo says here, where do you source your energy from, please? Because energy in Africa is not constant.
Well, that's part of our strength.
Okay.
It's not in my interest to tell him where we source our energy equipment from.
But do you get it from UK, Europe, or do you get it
from
in
Europe.
Africa?
They don't do them in Africa.
Okay.
The machines that we use, they don't sell them in Africa. They're sold in Europe.
Okay.
And they're not cheap either.
Okay.
You know.
And which is really good, because at least I like when people tell me, it's not like I'm too westernized, I'm not, but I like when people tell me that you've got machines from things from Europe. Then for me, I know they're actually guaranteed.
You see, that's why the education aspect comes in. I'll differ with you a little bit, because I've been to Asia. I've been to Asia. I've been to Asia I could tackle you on that, but let's leave that for today.
I've been to Asia. When it comes to construction, they're good.
Yeah, the quality.
Oh my God,
the quality here when it comes to the machines that give electricity, these are thermal plants, all right, and they are across the Western world, but you don't see them in the shops to buy. It's something you have to put in order for. So if he's asking out there, maybe he wants to come to me to consult me.
Okay,
on that
so
aspect,
if you
and
went to
we'll
find
talk
out, it's not a teleprogram, you're going to ask about where he's going to source it, contact him on
You
a
can find me on
consultant.
Facebook, you can find me on
You
Twitter,
can find him,
me
Dr.
on
Momodu
LinkedIn,
Conteh.
you know.
He's on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you can
I might
see
make
him.
some money in the process of
He said,
helping
how
him
many
to
watts
establish.
can you produce? How many watts?
For now,
Yeah.
we have the capacity to produce up to about, about 5 megawatts of power, which is far much more enough for that zone.
Okay, that's really good. And Osiya Mara said, Dr. Momodu Conteh is a very matured and selfless entrepreneur who
part of
have
my
brought
team.
so many opportunities to Sierra Leone.
Yes.
I hope it will get all the necessary support this time around for the Sierra Leone to benefit.
He's a very good man also, he's part of the team.
Mara, thank you very much, Mr. Mara, for this contribution. And it's good when other people say what exactly they know about people. It's not just me sitting down here telling you, I'll tell you more about, I know this person. And I've even met him. I went down to Sierra Leone. He had to leave I went down on a funeral, my dad's funeral, and he left everything. That was someone I've never met. We were just talking on like LinkedIn, and I went to my dad's funeral. He left everything to come and meet me. So you see, when you're looking at people or you're checking people, make sure you connect with the right
If I
people.
can jump in also, in my business world,
Yeah.
I saw it as a potential investment.
You see?
That will
And you
yield us
didn't-
where we are. That will yield us where we are today.
Yes, and you didn't even know I was going
No,
to.
I
And that time, actually, I wasn't even a TV presenter.
Yeah. But you just had the prospect of somebody was going somewhere.
You
So
see?
I don't mind following those kind of people. I wait for a couple of years. You see, that's another aspect of business.
Investment,
Investment. You look at a potential business, you go into it and wait for the right time. Look at us sitting down here today. How many years now?
Actually, I know it is about 2009.
Okay.
I went down to Sierra Leone in 2013.
So you see,
For my dad's funeral.
you see,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And then we met here again.
yes.
So you see.
yes,
So that's why you have to connect with the right people. Don't just make friends for friends' sake.
No.
Make valuable friends. That's what I'll tell
and
you.
I will say this again to the youth out there.
Yeah.
The World Cup is going on now.
Yeah.
We have youth that wake up in the morning. Since they woke up this morning, so this time I'm speaking to you,
They
they are
watch it.
analyzing what France is coming up with, who got how many millions, and they don't have the next meal. The time management in Africa is a problem for us. The time that we spend doing things that don't yield us any. I don't waste my time. My time is very valuable, and it's just a key factor in business also. Time management.
How comes, they've got, well, it's good now the government is working with you, because how come they've got people with so much expertise, and then we still lack some of these basic necessities?
Well,
Are they not utilizing
No,
people like you?
Our problem is not expertise.
Yeah.
Our problem is a sad issue. Our problem is regional. Our problem is it's difficult to explain to anybody. It doesn't make sense in a normal setting.
Yeah.
That if I come from a region, I should target you because you don't come from that same region. And so we're losing ground on many things that you should have, come together as a unit. I like what the Rwandese are doing. In Rwanda today, you're not that to see Momodu. They don't care about it anymore. It caused them loss of millions of people. So they moved away from me. You are Rwandese. As long as you can deliver the goods, you are Rwandese. They did with you as a Rwandan.
That's what people
When we
need
start
to learn.
thinking like this, say I don't move very fast. But if we go to that our regional thinking, we are sending ourselves 20 years backwards, and nobody can save us.
And this is 21st century.
21st century.
So, you see, Mr. Adebayo said, can we hire you in Nigeria to generate energy for us? We need you in Nigeria. So, Mr. Adebayo, you can
Mr.
contact,
Adebayo, I like that. I like these vibes. You can contact me.
you can contact him
Yeah.
after the program, and then you will talk.
Yes.
And Winnie Fred is watching. Thank you very much, Winnie, for watching. Another great entrepreneur and motivational speaker. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Alpha Kuruma, for watching all the way. I think it's in Brussels. Thank you for watching and for joining this program. Let me see if I have any more questions for you here. In Nevada, do you provide water facility? Because someone is asking me about water.
We will end up doing that definitely.
They will end up
But not
providing
yet,
water
yeah.
facility. They haven't started yet, but they'll reach to that point, and then you'll be able to get you something. So if you have more questions for Dr. Momodu Conteh, he's still here. I have him in this country till end of July, I think. So I will invite, there's another program I'm doing, I will invite him there as well. So,
And if you also have a business
Yeah.
that's running, or you want to go into business and you're struggling on what to do, I just created a group that is called the Business Guru on Facebook. Go there, and we'll take it off from there.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can contact him, and this is what we need to do. We need like-minded people to come together to do work that will benefit our society. We need to, when you die, people need to talk about what did you do when you were alive. Let the universe know that you exist.
And can I say one more thing lastly, just about what you just said here?
Yeah.
The last part of my piece,
Yeah.
I left it for last.
Yes.
You must be faith-based. Prayer. Let me look at you straight while I'm talking to you here.
Yeah, tell them.
If you want to succeed in life, having done everything you've done, you must be able to realize that you're not here by accident.
Yeah.
You didn't come here based on your father's decision. You came here because God decided to bring you here. And you came for a purpose. Try to discover that purpose and be somebody of prayer. All these projects you're hearing about here that I sat here talking about today, we prayed over them for years. Frustrations came, depressions came, but we refused all those because we are faith-based. Our confidence is upon the word of God, and that word has given us a victory. So that's my last plea. Be prayerful. Nothing will stop a prayer, man.
I normally tell people pray because
Yes.
it's good to pray.
Yeah.
I notice when I go to church a lot, but then I wasn't like praying personally. So I noticed that my prayer life was like down, and you get lots of challenges when you're not praying. You become a prey for the devil. So you
I'm not here today as a preacher. If you want us to go into that, bring me
yeah,
back
no,
as a preacher.
we'll bring you on another program because that was one of my studio manager asked
many people
me.
are surprised that they seen me for this part of me for the first time, so it's shocking them.
So it's really good. Sometimes you have things and you don't know who you've got around you.
Yes.
So you see, that's why you have to utilize people and know what they have. And Madam Soy says, good evening now. Good evening, Madam Soy. Thank you very much for watching Noble People. Thank you, Awakumba. Thank you very much for watching Noble People Television. We're glad to have you all here. And let me see how long I've got because I might be finishing with you soon. So whosoever is watching us on Noble People Television, thank you very much. My name is Bernadette Abu, and with me I've got a lovely girl, Miss Dr. Momodu Conteh. Please say, what's your last word to our viewers? Apart from you giving what's your last word to our viewers?
My last word, like I said, is going to be the last phrase that I finished with. Be a faith-based person. Don't give up in life. What did not work today might just work tomorrow, as long as you are faith-based. And if you're starting a business now, put yourself together with people that have trodden the path before. Find a team, find a workable team that will be a support group to you, and work with them. Don't work alone. The man that works alone might get to the destination, but it will take longer than the team that moves together. So I encourage you, I challenge you, don't give up on that business. The idea that you have today, fan those flames, don't give them up. Sooner rather than later, your day of opportunity will come because you're always out there.
So this
God
is Noble People Magazine, and we've got our magazine coming up. Our edition is going to come up in July. Will be printed out in July. So contact us on Noble People Television, and you will be able to be the face of Noble People. You don't know. We have an annual program, our annual award, which takes place at the end of the year. We award you for watching us. We award you for coming to us. We award you for what you do in your community, in your society, in your business. Whatever you do, we give different type of award in Noble People Television. So stay tuned, contact us, share this program with your friends, with your family, whatever way you can share this program. Let people know, because you don't know listening to this program might change someone's life. So share this program with all your friends and family. With me here, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you very much. God bless you till we meet again next week. Thank you for watching Noble People. Goodbye from Business Surgery. Bye-bye.
Bye.